Hello and welcome to the North Carolina Unicorn.Pitches online. I'm Sergey Husnedinov, the managing partner of Gain Ventures, which is an angel investment group. And today I'm glad to introduce you to our wonderful host today, Ekaterina. Ekaterina is the FUCO master student right now and a social ambassador for her program. Today she'll get us through the event in her own very stylish manner. Ekaterina?
Thank you so much, Sergey. Yeah, let's start. Thank you so much for welcoming me. And I would like to start our talk today with this beautiful competition. Let's go to organizer slide. Yeah, firstly, I would like to welcome our beautiful organizers. They are, I'm so sorry, Gain Ventures, and as Sergey has already mentioned, it is a global alumni-based angel group, and it is also a startup network, which is a really beautiful ecosystem that unites all the startups and makes this beautiful job of giving this platform that unites startups, investors, business angels, and so on and so forth. Yeah, let's go next. Let's look at our beautiful ecosystem that is presented today. As I have already mentioned about Startup Network, it is what it is. And you can see that startups really help us to develop it. They unite what we have already seen there. And it is our future. That's why we held this competition today. And if we go to the next slide, we can also see that it is not only about what has already been established, it is also about what we do right now, today. And today we held the Unicorn Battle, which is already the third step in our competition, and those who will win it, we will gladly welcome them in Unicorn Cup, and where they will have this beautiful possibility of competing on national level. So the stakes are high, and that's why we would love to say some pleasing words for every participant. We understand that it is huge pressure on you today, but also we would love to welcome you in our really hospitable environment, because it is not only about competition, it is about building the ecosystem, building the network, building something huge and something that really matters. So now we would love to welcome our Unicorn Pitch juries. And we would love to start with Marisa. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Marisa Allen-McGinnis, and I'm located in Silicon Valley, between Palo Alto and San Francisco. I am with an alum with Golden Seeds, and they fund female founders only. And then I'm an LP with Blumberg Capital, and Blumberg Capital writes check sizes under $10 million, and I usually do A and seed. And then I also invest through the Silicon Valley Syndicate, which is part of this ecosystem. I'm geographically agnostic and also industry agnostic. I mainly look at the founders and see if they can execute. Okay, thank you and good luck to everybody.
Thank you so much, Takashi. Can you please also introduce yourself?
Not everyone joined as a juries online. They're doing their work offline as well. So
of course.
Maybe we'll go to.
We can just introduce ourselves each after another. So once you are ready, our beautiful jurors, please. introduce yourself.
I believe next one is Gary.
Okay.
Yeah, can you give me like 2 minutes? I'm in my car. Just give me a chance. I'm on the highway. So if you can go to somebody else and then I'll get on in a minute.
Sure. Mark.
Good afternoon. My name is Mark Schmidt. I'm president and CEO of Cyberlux Corporation. We're an advanced technology platform company currently working on scaling through acquisitions and joint ventures. Had quite a unicorn year ourselves. We're in the OTC markets and our stock is actually up 30,000% year on year. So it's been quite a crazy year. And I'm a Fuqua 95 graduate for all the Duke people out there. So look forward to hearing from the unicorns.
Beautiful to see one more Duke student here.
Alumni already.
I'm so sorry.
Don't worry.
I am still a student, no doubt.
We are all students for the whole our life, and that is
In our hearts, yeah.
So.
Right, I can see Pavel here present. So Pavel, please introduce yourself. Yeah, you have to unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Great. Pleasure to be here, guys. I am one of the partners at Gain Ventures, and I'm based out of Seattle, but currently in Moscow. And we concentrate on Eastern European startups at the seed stage. I've been at it for a few years now, and it's been a great venture. Together with Sergey, also working on getting the alumni network across the globe from Moscow to Silicon Valley kind of brought together and putting the corporate and entrepreneurial minds together to help the startups from this region. So really looking forward to see what's happening in North Carolina these days.
We will all be really interested in seeing that, I believe. So, Gary, are you ready already?
I'm ready. I'm actually in my car with the, can you see me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's great to be here. I'll be home in a few minutes, so I'll get out of the car. But my name's Gary Fowler. Great to see some familiar faces today. I'm a serial entrepreneur and investor. I've done 17 startups and 2 unicorns. I was on the original management team at Click Software, which was sold to Salesforce for $1.35 billion, and also Eva.ai. I am the CEO, president, and co-founder of GSD Get Shit Done Venture Studios. We're a premier AI and quantum venture studio with a hyper accelerator and a venture studio that takes operational roles in companies. I love AI and quantum computing. I've written 167 articles in the last 19 months, and looking forward to the competition today, and looking forward to some great companies from the Carolinas. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Do we have any other juries to represent today?
Yes, we have Gajo Vanka.
Hi there, greetings from Belgrade to you all. It's like 11 p.m. So everybody is sleeping in my house, but I'm keen to participate in this event. For the ones who haven't met me yet, I'm a CFO of Fashion Union LLC, which is a clothing producer from Belgrade, and we're an export-oriented company. 4 years ago, we started as a startup, and I didn't join within the company from the early beginning. Nevertheless, I joined after the 7 months of its commencement. So we are pretty successful in what we're doing. Additionally, for aside of my financial duties, I also help CEO with its operations at the time. And plus, I represent a group of investors from Southeast and Eastern Europe who are keen to invest in interesting projects, which are deep tech, with the innovation, technology, artificial intelligence application, and so on. So we're really excited to be here and to see all these startups presenting today, and I wish you all the good luck. So thank you.
Thank you. And we are really pleased that you are able to hold it at 11 p.m. It is.
I'm really looking forward to see something interesting, which really compels to the investors I represent. So I certainly hope that this event will show some interesting projects. I already saw the summaries which are available on the site. Nevertheless, I think that it doesn't do justice enough for the startups who have the chance to present themselves in this 3 minutes scheme. So I'm really looking forward to see something new, and hopefully there will be potential unicorn that will arise from this event. Thank you.
You're welcome. We all hope for that. So let's go to our agenda. You all got emails with the link in them. So I would ask you to follow this link and scroll to the page of startups section. You should see something like that, like represented on the slide. You will see logos and marks beneath, and you have to put these marks depending on investment potential from 1 to 5, where 5 is the highest mark, 1 is the lowest mark. So everything is really logical. Have we all succeeded in that? I would love to wait for you to do that, to follow the link and scroll to the needed page, because it is really important so that we can score our beautiful startuppers. Please tell something as you are already.
I think a lot of judges already familiar with the platform. Let's check whether the newly added judges managed to navigate. Mark, did you open the link to see the startups, and are you able to score them as they go?
I am in the link to the startups, but I don't know if I can score them yet. Let me see about that.
As far as it goes from my side, I'm trying it and I think it works for me, but I don't know for the other judges, is it going to work? But I didn't have a problem, you know, like an hour before we had 12 startups. Some were having a summary, some not, some were more in details. Now we have 8. Is it the total number? I mean, is this the regular
Yes.
number of the participants? Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Marisa got it. I guess Gary is familiar with the platform. Pavel.
Yeah, I'm familiar. I'll log in. I'm listening. I'll log in like 5 minutes, so I'll be there, but I'm listening the whole time.
So yeah, I'm using it the first time, but so I see the numbers, right? Like from 1 to 5, right?
Yep. Yeah, I see that now. Yeah.
So that's okay.
I'm there too.
Super.
Nice.
Katya, shall we
Yeah, we shall proceed.
proceed?
Last but not least, we would love to say that, dear guests, your vote also matters. So we would kindly ask you to sign up and rate startups, because you have the great opportunity to support participants. They need your support right now. It is huge responsibility on them. And you can register, as I have already mentioned, and give your favor to your favorite startup, as they really need it right now. So we can proceed to our startups. Your vote matters. Remember that. So.
All right. Yeah. So we have changed a little bit the participants. So not everyone presented on the slide will be presenting today. So I'll help Katya to call out the startups. So the first one will be Natalia from Roland, and I'll keep the timing. We have 3 minutes for the pitch and 5 minutes for the questions. Is that right, Katya?
Yes, it is, absolutely.
Thank you.
Hi guys, this is my first pitch and first event, and let me try to share my screen to will be able to present.
No worries. Yeah, we see your screen.
How to take it out from okay, let's leave it here. Okay, can I start?
Yes, the time starts from the population of slides. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, I will present how our Keep2Ship platform disrupts the fulfillment services market. Our SaaS can make a delivery time shorter, shipping cheaper, and can provide hundreds of thousands of people with additional income. Sorry, it doesn't work. It didn't. Yes, sorry. Purchasing online, people require a same-day delivery, but even Amazon, the fastest among online sellers, cannot meet customers' needs. 80% of products which you buy online are shipped from fulfillment centers. These centers are big and they are far away from an average customer. That is why the standard delivery takes 5 business days. Big market players try to address this issue. Walmart, as many others, approach the problem. It plans to install 100 micro-fulfillment centers in the short term, investing $14 billion in 2021 alone. It is the right path, but a wrong way, because micro-fulfillment centers may shorten the delivery time, but they are still too far from the same-day delivery. To achieve the same-day delivery, we should not use big fulfillment centers anymore. We should use people's basement or garages instead. Let's call them ship-to-keep units. It should be at a distance reachable for a delivery guy or drone. It means we need hundreds of thousands such centers, not 100. Our solution is an Uber-like platform that connects online sellers and Keep2Ship units. This software makes such centers easy to open and operate. Keep2Shippers work 2-3 hours per day and earn $2,000 to $4,000 per month just shipping packages. We already have several Keep2Ship centers connected. Also, our software integrated with Amazon, Walmart, eBay, and post services. 24,000 orders were processed through the Keep2Ship platform this year. We take $2 per shipment, one of which gets to Keep2Ship unit, and we plan to have 1,000 connected Keep2Ship units in 2 years. That will result in 25 million of gross profit. To make it possible, we need $1 million of investments. The system is highly scalable, and we plan to expand globally. The global market of e-commerce fulfillment services is 86 billion now and is growing 10% per year. In 10 years, we plan to take 15% of market share. And there is a precise calculation behind these figures. 3 markets with similar size, 3 SaaS with a similar business model. Uber and Airbnb took 1/5 of the market in 11 years. We have all the reasons to expect the same result. Right timing plays an important role in the success of a startup. The time
Natalia, sorry, I have to cut you off. Your time is over, and now open to the judges' question.
Yes, I finished.
Hi, Natalia. Is it okay for us to continue with asking questions?
Yes, okay.
Hi, thank you for your thorough presentation. Since you haven't the chance to present all what you planned, my question would be focused. Have you raised so far, and from what source you funded your product development as well as your business operations? Additionally, if you can tell us what exactly, when exactly you commenced with your business operations, and did you generate any revenue yet? And can you say additionally, after answering these 2 short questions, if you fundraise from this event or any other, how you'll spend the money? Thank you.
Thank you for questions. So we, the Roland, it's our company. It started in 2015, and we are online sellers. And this platform, the building of this platform was funded from the revenue, from the profit we have from our business, from the Roland. It's the first, you will see here, the first unit we opened in 2018. And daily shipments, like shipments per day per unit, it's like 50, 20, 50, like 100 on average per day.
No worries. Can you tell us a bit about the entrepreneurship program? I think it's the acceleration program you graduated from Duke's Fuqua School of Business. Did it brought any value to your business in terms of mentorship or access to finance?
I went through just 2 classes of this program when we, it was in 2019, and we had like optional additional classes which we can choose, and I chose this entrepreneurship program. But it was not like I have certificate for this, it was like an additional classes. And yes, it was helpful, and I cannot say I didn't know something, but it helped me to arrange all information in my head in a better way.
Thank you. I'm satisfied with your answers on my question.
And so I didn't answer about the. So we invested from Roland profit, and we plan to fundraise this 1 million this time, and we plan to spend it to establish to be able to scale our system. So this is software as a service. Now we have just several Keep2Ship units connected, and if we want to have 1,000, we need to spend money to connect them, to find them, to train them, and of course to sophisticate our platform to be able to maintain like 100,000 of units.
Fortunately, we're out of time. It would be great to dive into the operations, but we have to keep moving. So Katya, who is next?
Yeah, the next one is 3DI LLC. So please, you can share your slides also. Is anybody here?
We're here. I'm here.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
3DI.
Yes. Let me know when it's time to start.
Start, go.
Okay. So my premise is that virtual reality should not be expensive. It shouldn't be $800. So what I made is an inexpensive virtual reality system, turns your computer screen into basically a holographic display. And it works very simply with these glasses that have a very clever design and some very clever software. I also have another version that is it going to light? Yeah, it lights up. So these would be used, say, for night vision. You can't see them, but they're illuminated using electroluminescent panels. So what they do, the way this works is the glasses get tracked by the computer's camera. We don't need two cameras. The design of the glasses is patented, and the method for determining their location in XYZ space has been patented. I have 5 patents working on 6. We just integrated it with the Unreal gaming engine, so you can make virtually any 3D scene, any 3D game, anything anyone develops. And now it's as simple as you upload our software, you paste it into the content folder, and we have an actor. The actor attaches our camera to the camera in the scene, and that's all you do is you take the camera, you take the actor, and you basically drag it into the scene, and then you put on the glasses, and you get a holographic display on your computer. It's a fish tank virtual reality system. Cost the glasses, these cost $2 to manufacture. The lighted glasses cost about $10 to manufacture. And the ultimate goal is to make educational software, holographic educational software that can be used anywhere in the US in public schools. It's inexpensive enough that we could offer it for $5 a student and still make tremendous profits. It could be used in India, it could be used in third world countries around the world because it doesn't cost a lot. That's not 3 minutes, but I'll open it up for questions right there. I think that I pretty much explained it.
Yeah, so I guess is Gary, David. I got a question for you.
Yes.
I know a little bit about VR and AR and the metaverse, et cetera. I write extensively actually about it. I don't get what you're doing. I got to be honest with you. I mean, I hear you got cheap glasses, but I got that. But what are you doing in terms of?
There we go. I'm going to put this computer in front of it. So if I go like this, I can select, well, let's see. It's been sitting here for a while. I don't know if it's going to do it. Great. Okay, I'll just explain it to you. My computer's been sitting here for a while. The way it works is like this. The glasses have a discriminating feature. They can be used with 3D TV. You can use polarized lenses. You can hook it up with your regular 3D glasses for shutter glasses. I'm sure you're familiar with them. All you need is put these in front of them. You can cut out the red and blue. It doesn't have to be red and blue. These are matched for a regular computer display because not everyone has a 3D display. So you get stereo with the 3D by the discriminating. Each eye sees a different image. And then your images are created based on where your eyes are located. So you have a left eye image and a right eye image.
That. I'm just trying to figure out exactly what you do. So all you're doing is you're doing VR glasses. Is that it? And they're low-cost VR glasses, right?
Yes.
That's what you got to say. You know what I mean? I got to be honest with you. I've done thousands of companies over the last, literally, I've had 4,000 through my accelerator. And, you know, you got to like be crisp and clear. You got to go right to the point with it. So that's the other thing. How many customers do you have?
We are about to launch. We're hoping to get a Kickstarter out before Christmas. We're about to launch. We have these manufactured. We have a manufacturer for the other glasses. So we're hoping to get the Kickstarter out right now. It's just we've been working on it really hard. So soon, we hope to launch very soon. It took a long time. It took 1.5 years to integrate it into the Unreal Engine to get it working perfectly. So it's just been done a few months ago, and we're about to launch. We'll see. We'll see how many customers we have in a little bit.
Well, I mean, the situation is just FYI. I mean, one of the things you might want to think about is the customer development's really critically important. You got to do your hypothesis testing. You're talking about school districts. I mean, how many school districts have you talked to that are interested in this?
We don't have the software yet. That's what we need money. We need money for that. We're going to start off with the gaming industry. People can add this to their already made games very simply. So we'll get started that way. Ultimately, that's down the road getting into the schools. There's another company called Z-Space that does this. They charge $2,000 a computer. It does the same thing we do. I make it for $2. It does the same damn thing.
Yeah, no, I got it. I mean, one of the things you want to do, just FYI, and I've done, like I said, I've done 17 companies, and I've been through this all the way from to $1 billion exit, right? You got to go down through. The slides are really important. If I was you, because it's really hard to follow where you're going with this. If people don't understand it, you're going to lose the investors. I hear what you're saying. I think I get it, right? I don't know what the barrier to entry for competitors, because if you got blue and red, and you're just doing to create stereoscopic glasses.
No, it's more than that.
Well, that's the kind of thing you need to have on a slide that shows what the differences are between you and all the competitors out there, and why these 5 patents now soon going to be 6 are going to make a difference. So if it was you, if it was me, I've raised $7 million on a pre-seed funding, seed and seed pre-seed in 4 months with my company.
I can send you the glasses. I can send you the software.
But
You
it's
can
not
download
that.
it.
I need to know where I need to know where it fits. It's not about trying it. I only care about investing, right? I care about how it's going to fit, how it's going to win, and what's your competitive advantages. That's it. It doesn't matter.
It's all cost. That's my competitive advantage.
Okay,
Cost.
so but you say you have 5 patents or 6. There's got to be some other secret sauce to it, right?
Well, the secret sauce is how the glasses are tracked. That's the secret sauce. So we can create the perspective viewing. That's the secret sauce, and do it fast and efficiently.
Okay. That's all the questions I have.
Hi, David. Greetings from Belgrade. First of all, I like your short presentation, even though I didn't have opportunity to see it on a paper or within the PowerPoint presentation. Nevertheless, you were pretty short and precise. My question will be more focused on your target market. Can you elaborate more on that? And what is your expansion strategy?
Well, the expansion strategy is we're going to try.
And we have like five seconds for the answer.
Start off with
So
gamers.
Have to keep the timing.
Then go to schools. Start with gamers.
Got it. You can follow up after the event.
Thank you so
Right.
much. Yeah, it was beautiful. Let's go to Ford Trader X.
Okay. Can I share my screen? Okay, let's do this. Can you see my screen?
Yay.
All right. Okay, let me know when you want me to start.
You can go.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Michael Ajay. I am the co-founder and the CEO of ForTradeX. ForTradeX is a peer-to-peer currency exchange platform. This thing is not working. Okay, ForTradeX is a peer-to-peer currency exchange platform for African traders and travelers. We allow users to set their own exchange rates. What's the problem we're trying to solve? In Africa, we import almost everything, and that means that we need US dollars to be able to import these goods. So the currency conversion is too high for traders in Africa looking for US dollars, and Africans in the diaspora looking for money to send back home. The conversion rates through remittance companies are so low. The other problem is that the availability is not there. The banks in Africa don't have enough US dollars, and they don't have time for small businesses that need these US dollars. Security, because of those two problems, most people turn to peer-to-peer with Africans in the diaspora, and there are a lot of scams around, and this has caused a lot of problems. So our solution is to build a web and a mobile app that will allow users to set their own exchange rates and to convert their local currency for any foreign currencies at their own set rate. Over the last 11 months, I've been using WhatsApp to connect traders in Africa with Africans in the diaspora. And we've been using WhatsApp, and we've done over 800,000 US dollars in transaction using WhatsApp. But right now we have our MVP and we're ready to launch on December 1st. This target market is to start with Africans in the United States and Africans in Nigeria and in Ghana, and then spread to other African countries. Like I said earlier, there's high importation rates. That means there will be constant need for US dollars to import these goods into Africa. How our product works, you create an account. We offer you 2 wallets, your local currency wallets and a USD wallet. So you add money to your local wallet. You ask for, you create an ask saying, I have this amount in my local currency, but I'm looking for this US dollars. And if someone in the United States needs your local currency, they buy your ask and you just get the US dollars. How do we make money? It's a 2-way commission. We charge a commission fee from those in the United States trying to send money to Africa. And we also charge from those in Africa looking for the US dollars. Competitive advantages, we're going to be the first in the market doing this. On the legal side, we're covered. We have a letter from the...
Okay. Michael, your time is over.
All right.
But hopefully judges would ask their questions in the allowed time to cover what you haven't.
All right.
Hi, Michael. I'm waiting for the other judges because I don't want it to be the only one who's asking questions, but okay. I'll be short.
All right.
Can you elaborate more on the risks of entering the market, including the regulation? I saw within your competitive advantage that you have said it, you're legally side covered. But can you elaborate more into how it can have impact on your risks and additional risks, I mean, income risk within your business? And do you have any competitors, and what is your competitive advantage in terms of differentiation?
Okay, so the first question, right? So what we did was to reach out to the Commission of Banks. I live in North Carolina, so I reached out to the Commission of Banks. I sent them my business plan, told them this is what I'm trying to do, and they told me that you don't really need a remittance license because you're only a marketplace. We're not holding the funds. We partnered with a bank here in the United States and with another bank in Nigeria that will be helping us with the funds. And so we got a letter from the Commission of Banks attesting to the fact that we don't need a remittance license to operate this. The second question is about competitive advantage and if there are other competitors. Right now, there is no startup or fintech startup doing this in Africa. So we'll be the first. Most of them are doing remittance, which they set the exchange rate, but we'll be the first to allow users to set their own exchange rates. I don't know if I answer your question.
Does your fintech is going to work in whole Africa, means around every country, or you're in the process of establishing a cooperation with the local banks in any country that you haven't already cooperated yet?
Yeah, so the way we set it up is that we're not going to really have to operate in those countries. Our banking partners, they have, like we partnered with Flutterwave, and they have partnership with Wema Bank. So they have partnership in almost 30 countries in Africa. So any of those countries we can operate in as long as we're working with them.
Thank you. Thank you for answering my question.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Michael. This is Jules. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you dig into a little bit more how the exchange rates are set? It seems like there'd be somebody who's taking advantage of this process and could just make a living off of the arbitrage on that. How is it done?
So usually what people do, I'll take Nigeria, for example, which is where we're going to start from, and it's the biggest market in Africa. So the central bank has a set rate, but there's another rate, which we call black market rate. So it's a rate that most of they call them abokis, right? Currency exchange guys, the bureau de change. They are the guys, they have a union and they come up with these numbers. And usually people go maybe 2-3 above or 2-3 less than those rates. So that's what we'll be looking out for. And we'll also make sure that we don't allow people, we allow them to set their rates, but we'll also be at the lookout to make sure that someone is not just coming to set a rate that is, crazily high. We have something in the system that will not allow you to set more than 20 above the rates that those unions are setting for the black market rate.
Are you capping the amounts that can be transferred at a single moment?
Well, our banking partners they didn't give us any cap, but we are doing that because the more transactions you do, the more we make. So we're doing that, but the banking partners are not doing that for us.
Okay, and then is there just, one more question, and then is there a possibility of, again, activity on the platform? What are you guys, how are you going to be mitigating that risk?
Sorry, your line broke off a little bit.
Sorry,
can you repeat the question?
About the fraudulent activity, like, how are you planning to monitor if there is any, illegal activities happening with laundering the money or something like that? Like, are there risks mitigated?
We don't have time for more questions. You can follow up with Michael offline. We have to go to the next.
Actually, Sergey, really quick, how much money are you looking for, Michael?
We're looking to raise 500.
You're not able to announce that.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah.
So
go to Home Sirens.
Home Sirens.
Hello, everybody. How you guys doing? So let me first begin. My name is Eric Barnett. I am the founder of Home Sirens, also the inventor. I'm a former U.S. Marine with 25 years of cybersecurity experience. So first and foremost, let's dig into the disclaimer. There might be some projections that could possibly change depending upon how the future goes for Home Sirens from here on out. With that said, let's kind of dig into it. So what is Home Sirens? Home Sirens is a home internet security subscription service in a box. Basically, at the end of the day, it is a hardware appliance that has a firewall, an IPS, an artificial intelligence engine that has the ability to auto-write rules, security rules, and apply them and block real-time attacks. Basically, what the whole concept is, protect the Wi-Fi router with the press of power. And yeah, I did try to make that rhyme as much as I possibly can. So what does that really mean? Well, really what that means is the problem that we have today around the world, no matter where you're at, no matter who you are, and no matter what line of business you're in, whether it's a startup or even a venture capital company, hackers are winning the day. Viruses are winning the day. They're winning so much that they're profiting, right? And what does that mean? Well, it means that really people don't have the ability to protect themselves, nor do they have a technology to really rely on to protect themselves, because that in itself is a job. So what do we offer? We actually offer Home Sirens, right? Home Sirens is a small little device that has a computer built inside of it that sits in line to the Wi-Fi router, right? The value proposition for Home Sirens is very simple. It's easy security. It's plug and play. You plug up the solution, it will connect the internet, it will automatically connect to our cloud service provider. And then from that point on, as long as you pay a subscription service, you will get daily updates for threat intelligence. And you just keep on rocking. The whole point of this is for you to plug and just forget about it, okay? Now, Home Sirens is backed by intellectual property, so there is a US patent pending for the software and the technology in itself. Serving client base. Now, when I say these next three things, please, let's keep in mind and look at the same exact picture. That little box there can actually fit all three areas of what I'm about to go after. First of all, enterprises with remote users or work from home employees. We all know there's some. Actually, we all know there's a lot of them, especially now with COVID-19. In this world, home sirens can actually take an enterprise security policies, firewalls, IPS, and push them down to the end user. So now we can actually protect users at home using this solution. With this same solution, we can actually go after small businesses with a single Wi-Fi router. With this same solution, you can actually go after home consumers that have smart technologies, IoT devices, Ring, Nest, appliances that don't have traditional security software solutions. Okay, so again, 3 markets, same box. Okay, here's really where the meat and potatoes come into play. What's our revenue model? Our revenue model is broken into subscription package. Oh man, I'm down 3 minutes. Well, my 3 minutes is up, but for the most part, it's down subscription package where we bundle the hardware and the service into one where there's a partnership between the enterprise, a partnership for the small and medium business, and a small contract for the home consumers. We're upfront, they'll pay for the box, and then after 2 years or 1 year, the box price will go down to a monthly subscription. From this point on, we have competition, and then also
with that, we have to open to the judges' questions.
Questions?
How many customers do you have today?
Right now, we actually have 7 customers today. We have 7 customers, and I have another order of 50 devices coming in March. Right now, for the device in itself, let me Excel out here, so I'll give you guys a live level shot. My share. Okay, so all right. So this little device right here is basically a 3D printed device that comes out of North Carolina from my vendor. And this little hardware inside of it is a computer that actually gets shipped from overseas. So this is where I actually have my hard costs, and this basically costs about $450 for the overall solution. But other than that, everything is self-contained and actually made here in the United States.
Got it.
Any other questions?
What's your go-to-market strategy?
Yeah, so the go-to-market strategy is pretty simple. I'm already talking to a few CTOs that actually have a remote employee presence space. So what I plan to do is take some of those units and do a pilot test. We already have a partnership to agree on as far as if everything goes well, which means that are we protecting their stuff? Can we show them the reports? Can we show them compliances, things like that? They'll automatically sign a partnership. Now, for home consumers, the Home Sirens website is actually a Shopify account. So it's an e-commerce. So I feel like, for the home consumers, we can actually target them through a marketing campaign, funnel them through the website, and they can actually subscribe through the website. Pretty much when you subscribe to the website and order Home Sirens, we will take that information, pre-configure the solution, and then send you this whole entire box as a complete package. So once you get the box, all you're doing is just plugging in the solution based upon how we set the directions, and you just let it go.
Yeah, interesting. So, a couple of things just from my perspective. So I know a little bit about remote workforce management. I started Eva, which was one of the top AI HR tech companies in that space. If it was me, I'd go to somebody like Josh Bergens. Josh is a person that is really deeply involved in that space. And also you need to have, I would look at somebody that's got worldwide recognition in cybersecurity, because it's, people are talking about it every single day. I hear it. I have a cybersecurity company, Splitbyte. I hear it repeatedly, because of the challenges we have with quantum and now with unsupervised AI coming in. There's a lot of opportunity out there. The key is how fast can you get it to market, and how much different are you than the competition?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, and the only thing I can answer is you're absolutely right. And also too, for the differentiators, that's always going to be something to build upon and go after. But I think for this technology in itself, we have a patent that's already bound to us that really sets us apart from everybody else in the market, like a Trend Microsecurity, Cujo, Bitdefender, Symantec, Norton. So I do have some pretty key backers, like from Mandiant, from Anomaly. I have been in the industry. I do cybersecurity sales on a big front. So I work with Apple and all that. So I do leverage those contacts, and I have a very strong advisory board behind. I just wasn't able to show all that stuff.
Got it.
Hi there. Can you get back to your sales and generally your financial projections?
Yeah, yeah.
And
yeah.
elaborate more on the methodology, how you came up to these figures.
Oh, definitely. Actually, I can. Yeah. So basically, what it comes down to is I'm expecting the low and slow a growth approach. Really, what that means is I'm the single founder. I've self-funded this whole entire thing. This has been a 7-year initiative by me. So I put every single dollar that I had to the side. So I was able to get up 7 units. With the 50, it's all about flipping and then reselling, taking that money that we get in the subscription services, building that capital, going after and buying more inventory. It doesn't really cost that much money to support a user. We're talking about $10 a month for the backend services to pour all the actual stuff that actually supports them. And then from the hardware cost, everything else is pretty much profit.
It's just like in the first year you're in minus, but from the 2022 you're already earning money. So
absolutely, yeah.
And it's like 10 times more than expected. Probably.
Definitely, because I feel that, you know, as we start to go along, there's other ways I can gain capital, right? So there's other areas where if I have, like, say the CTO comes back and says, Eric, we have a deal for 500 users. Can you go ahead and give me 500 boxes? I can work with that with another capital partner. They will go ahead, front end that money. We can make that purchase happen. And then at the end of the day, we can fulfill that order. So I'm basically trying to be very, very cautious as how I use my investments to ensure that I accelerate correctly.
Thank you very much.
Eric.
You're welcome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
No worries.
Great. So, Katya?
Let's go next to our next participant, which is show off home match. Do you guys have a presentation?
Show off
home match.
No. Then let's go to the sports race. Max?
Do it. I think I'm ready. Here we go. So hi, I'm Max. Thanks for having me. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Sports Trace, and Sports Trace takes game and practice video and turns it into ways for athletes to train smarter. And so I was a coach, I was an athlete, and it's hard. I didn't necessarily know if I was moving the needle with every rep. As a coach, it was very difficult to scale my skills, and just wanted to apply the knowledge that I had to the short careers of athletes, which is particularly difficult. And the problem is that there are solutions out there, ones that even leverage video, but they can't be applied in all use cases, game and practice. Some are very specialized. They still take up a ton of time from coaching or your training, and they're not necessarily very accurate. Enter Sports Trace. We recognize the athlete in 3D from 2D video. We analyze that movement specific to the sport they're participating in, and we recommend ways for them to improve with our patent pending AI cloud-based solution. The benefits, obviously, counter to every problem that I just mentioned, can be used in almost 100% of use cases. The automation takes away the time that you need to spend analyzing video, and it's extremely accurate. We've actually done a test with that from a motion capture lab at UTSA. Again, the idea is simple. Use your phone. Sports Trace does the rest. How it works, you take video from cell phone or better quality within the last 5 years, upload it to the cloud, and then on any device, you get back as much or as little data as you want, honestly. You have video tools to do comparisons, and you have recommendations that are targeted to your inefficiencies and inconsistencies on how to improve. So that market, TAM, 16 billion, 11 billion of which is video solutions. We're targeting just a small percentage of that. And the model is subscription-based, although we have 3 target customers. We're trying to capture the athlete 3 different ways: through teams, through training facilities, and through integrations with other data providers. We're going to grow by expanding to more sports, and our entire platform is live right now. Myself and my co-founder were former athletes, coaches, former Microsoft, and the kind of traction that we've gotten proves this is a problem worth solving and that we're the ones that can solve it. Because in just a year and a half, we've gone out, we've validated the solution, made great partners in both the sports and the scientific community, and we've actually started to generate revenue. We've worked with some of the bigger names in sports across a variety of different sports. Actually had to turn some down because we're not necessarily ready for territorial sports yet, but we've been working to expand that. There's competition, of course, but we're much more accurate and we're much more automated. And right now we're way more inexpensive than everybody else out there. What are we looking for? We're looking for seed investment, but even more important than that, customer introductions. Obviously, we're constantly trying to expand our base of customers. So thanks for listening. Help us measure what matters at Sports Trace, and I'm looking forward to your questions.
Max,
Hi, can you do any sport?
Eventually, we can do any sport.
So right now, which sports are you doing?
Baseball, softball, golf, and cricket.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course.
How much revenue do you have today?
We're very early revenue. We spent a lot of time talking with the coaches to get exactly right what they wanted and to see what their, I'll call them engineering problems were. But I'm happy to take that conversation offline to get into the specifics.
Have you raised yet any money?
We got a little bit of pre-seed money and we got an equity-free grant that afforded me the luxury of living in Missouri for a year, which was kind of cool, right along the Mississippi River. But we are currently raising full seed round.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I know that Pavel is crazy about sport startups and he's sport coach himself. So Pavel, what are your questions to Max?
I mean, it sounds, I mean, if it works, right, and it's actionable.
Yeah. That's always the trick, right? Does it work?
I mean, yeah. No, but like I thought about soccer. I mean, I'm more into soccer, but like it's. I mean, it's definitely there is definitely need for that. And my first thought actually was that like if you're doing cricket, I mean, India is hugely popular sport. So if you needed more data, you could probably go there and get what you need. But revenue wise, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I don't have anything in mind at the moment actually to ask. I mean, other than it sounds like you got competitors. I mean, how much do your competitors make? Do you know the revenue stream for them?
What we've seen from our competitors, one is that they're on way more limited platforms. We started this as a service. And obviously we have now a mobile app, we have web reporting, and we have integrations both on the data side with web widgets as well. And our competitors are limited in the platforms that they service. They're typically going out and doing a lot of social media blasting. We've heard of a few training facilities getting interest, but they're very sports specific. We took a very different approach to this because we're measuring human movement. We went across a broader array of sports. To your point about soccer,
how much does it cost? I mean, I'm thinking also, youth sport is huge in US, right? Like, I mean, parents might be very interested in putting out some dollars for something like that.
$5 a month for the mobile application.
Man, to hit the youth market.
Yep. The socials going out today. It's funny you should mention that. I just
that's the big one.
Hey, Max, can you talk about the process and how it works? You said you were lower cost than your competitors. I'm just curious how you get there.
Yeah, we do and process everything in the cloud. And I used to work for Azure at Microsoft, so we have a little bit of an inside track on that. We actually just lowered the cost by making our models more efficient in how they're parallel processing that video. We've gotten feedback from coaches that that's the right way to go. They don't necessarily want that information on the spot. They want to focus on what they're doing and plan their next step. So the cloud storage costs for us are minimal. The unit cost at 5 times the usage we're seeing a month right now is pennies. So we have a healthy margin to work with in terms of using that to promote the product.
So do you require specific video equipment to be used? How's that work on just a cell phone?
It just works with cell phone quality video or better. And some of our integrations, obviously, we're getting like in stadium video. It can be pre-recorded or live. Everything goes up to the cloud. One of my favorite demos is recording the TV and then processing that.
I'm a father of a former D1 lacrosse player. I would have paid $5 a month.
Right on.
Good. We have one last question from Jules.
Hi, thanks. Next, I'm also a, we'll call it retired sports dad and coach and all that, and I'm intrigued. But just as far as how it works, so when I think about the perfect baseball swing, I think like Ken Griffey Jr. Is he set up as the baseline, and then you're taking the video and matching increments off of that, and that's the feedback? I mean, how's it work?
So it's interesting. There's two methods of comparison. There's your own personal consistency, right? So that's kind of you against you. And then there are some, we'll call them industry standards. It's going to be tough for like a 10-year-old to match up to Ken Griffey Jr. You've got a lot in terms of balance, core stability, and strength that, they'll get there, right? But not yet. But there are some industry standards. For instance, kinematic sequence is a big one that we measure. And that's just how does your body rotate, basically from the legs up out to your hands if you're taking a swing or if you're even throwing. So there are a bunch of different ways. If we're talking about just simple comparison tools, we actually have a pro library. So you can see your swing right next to Ken Griffey Jr. if you'd like.
Cool.
Very cool.
All right.
How long did you guys it took you to develop the models and then get them to certain percentage
Pavel,
of?
we'll take it. You'll take it offline, or you can.
I didn't hear the
right
sound.
now.
Sorry, didn't hear the sound.
It was silent. All right, so we have to move on to the next one. And gosh, Katya, who do we have next?
The next we have our divorce.
All right.
All right. So I guess that's my turn, right?
Yay.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to get going, and I do not have any slides, but just to introduce myself, my name is Tom Milligan. I am the founder and CEO of ourdivorce.com. We're the most effective online divorce solution available. So I'm here seeking a $250,000 investment in my company. So just some statistics. Did you know that here in the US, a divorce is finalized about once every 42 seconds? And as we all know, a lot of them aren't very friendly. So case in point, about 20 years ago, I got a divorce, and it cost me $40,000 in 18 months of my life. So when I was pretty much compelled to get a divorce about 2 years ago, I really didn't want to spend another $40,000. So I searched everywhere for a solution that doesn't consume so much time or money. My research, well, I did find a few online services, but all they really do is help you fill out a few legal forms. They don't even try to address the negotiations that are needed in basically every divorce case. So I created my own divorce plan. By following my plan, my divorce was done in 48 hours, and the cost, $0. Literally everyone I told about my plan either needed it for themselves or knew someone who needed it. And so ourdivorce.com was born. Since then, we've developed our proprietary divorce technology and deployed it in 12 states here in the US, which represent more than half of all US divorces. The average divorce costs about $11,000, but for just a one-time fee, our divorce charges $299, and we guide divorcing couples through their entire divorce, including the negotiations. And then we provide that couple with a complete set of state-approved divorce papers. Look, we knew from the start that we had to find customers before attorneys find them. So we had to get kind of creative. So naturally, I went straight to TikTok. Today, our TikTok channel has over 100,000 followers, and every month our videos are viewed 2 million times, generating 5,000 to 10,000 site visitors per month. I also host a podcast every week called My Crazy Divorce, where every week our guests share a crazy and expensive divorce story and teach our listeners why ourdivorce.com is basically better than using an attorney. It all sounds great, but that's all one-time revenue. So let's talk recurring revenue. Anyone who has ever been divorced knows that a signed divorce decree isn't the end of the divorce. In fact, it's really just the beginning. Parent time, child support, holidays, and 1,000 other details have to be managed every day, which is why late next year, we'll unveil our comprehensive divorce management platform. Our subscribers will have access to all the tools and information they need to co-parent and maintain a successful divorce. The investment we're looking for will expedite our nationwide expansion, unlock other marketing programs, and accelerate the development of the divorce management platform. Thanks for having me here, and I'm really excited for your feedback and to answer your questions.
Yeah, so Tom, this is Gary. Listen, I just have a question for you. Our statement, my partner actually did something similar to this for veterans. He did it in New York, upstate New York, and actually had a lot of problems because the lawyers obviously didn't like it. They came after him.
They hate me.
Attorney General, the Attorney General of New York came after him, et cetera. And he eventually had to shut down, not to saying he didn't have a really great product. And he was trying to solve the same thing. This is for veterans that had, come over and come back, and now we're having some challenges like divorce, right? So how are you gonna, you start opening this up, you're gonna have those same folks coming after you because they're not gonna like missing $700 an hour, right? So, how are you gonna prepare yourself for that?
Well, we have already withstood a few attacks from some attorneys in various states that they don't like what we're doing. But the difference is we're not actually providing any sort of a legal service. I mean, like I said, our competitors just help people fill out legal forms. And in essence, that's what we do. But we help our customers figure out what needs to go in those legal forms. That's the component missing from our competitors.
Yeah, but do you give them the forms?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's what he did too. Just FYI. And they went around in circles with those folks in New York for a couple of years until they finally put them out of business.
Sure, and I understand that, and it's definitely not an easy road to go down. New York has actually been a surprisingly easy state for us. We thought that was going to be one of the more difficult ones, but it turns out California has been a little bit more difficult than New York. But we are operational in California and New York, and those were the two that we were most worried about.
And do you have revenue today?
We have minimal revenue. We just launched these 12 states within the last month. And so we have about 1,500 customers in those 12 states that are in the process of going through the steps.
Got it. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's I think people are a little afraid if they haven't been through a divorce, starting to ask questions is not a good thing, right?
Yeah. And the fact that it happens every 42 seconds means that everyone on this call has either been divorced or knows somebody.
50% of the population is going to go through it. So
yeah, it's not a fun thing.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Tom. Even though I'm not from the States, but is your business applicable to other countries as well, or do you have a global strategy to, when you succeed, to encompass the US completely? Are you planning to go in the UK or somewhere in Western Europe?
We have had a few inquiries from Canada and the UK specifically. We have not really contemplated that as of yet. We obviously right now we need to get to 38 states plus DC to cover the US. And then we want to get that divorce platform going so that we can go into the recurring model. So we're a few years away from even thinking about that.
Thanks for answering and good luck. Thank you.
Yeah, I just saw the comment. There going to be an army of lawyers now going to be after me. Yeah, they already hate me. But the interesting thing is we actually are building a stable of collaborative law attorneys who actually support what we're doing. It's a fairly new concept because the adversarial process has been around for so long. But there is a growing number of attorneys who really enjoy or want the collaborative law process to be what succeeds.
Nice. Not an easy topic, but hopefully, Tom, you're making it easier for people.
Perception. Yay. So let's go to our last startup, which is Margic.
Let me try to share the screen, hopefully. That will work. Do you see regular mode or like a
presentation mode? Yeah.
That is okay. Perfect. Thank you so much. All right. Well, in today's society, we cannot imagine our lives without electronic displays, so much that it will become a $1.5 trillion industry by year 2040. But we're not thinking about is what goes into making such displays. On the left, we see the commonly used materials in such displays, and the fact that by 2040, many of them will longer exist in our minds will vanish entire $1.5 trillion industry. And solution to that problem is switching to organic light-emitting diodes or OLEDs. In fact, most of you have a cell phone with such display. They offer great diversity from the perspective of that it can be flexible devices or see-through displays. They are safer for humans and the environment as well, generally speaking. But today's OLEDs are very far from reaching their full potential. These devices are made very complex, one layer at a time, like a sandwich, with over 20 layers, making manufacturing very costly and complex. And new, better solutions are simply impossible due to materials no longer being appropriate for these solutions. Margic wants to enable simplification of OLEDs from a 20 to a 3-step process using our novel materials. We are a materials-based startup with 2 pending international patents, and we would sell our materials in the form of powders as shown here. And our materials are not only compatible with the current techniques, but also do not employ any scarce or toxic elements within our materials. Our materials also allow power and greenhouse emissions reduction, enable faster manufacturing, and will enable our customers to unlock new revenue streams. Through our participation in customer discovery programs, we realized that materials market is rapidly growing a new opportunity with reaching $20 billion worth of value by year 2030. And through that, we identified a gap on the market that Margic can fill. Historically, it has been seen that as new OLED displays had came to market, new materials spin-offs would also come to address the newly occurring needs. And just like that, Margic will come to address the needs of new eye-safe and environmentally friendly displays. Electronics market is highly conservative, so first would enter the niche and luxury items market, then would expand into lighting opportunities, and that would secure our road and path to our ultimate consumer electronics market, and we would reach $1 billion of revenue by year 2030 with that. We have a growing ambitious team. My name is Margaret. I'm a founder and CEO with a PhD in nanoscale science, and we bring maturity to our company through mentors and institutional partners. This technology did not come out of nowhere. Came out as a university-based spinoff. We got some traction from potential customers and raised non-dilutive funding. And currently we're on our path to raise some additional funding and onboard some mentoring teams, as well as get us some help to produce minimal viable product on a scale that our customers would be purchasing it. And with that, I would like to open the floor to your questions.
Hi, Margaret. Really stellar presentation. It's less than 3 minutes, and plus you have covered it all. My question would be, what makes you so attractive in terms of your competitors? And can you elaborate more on your differentiation strategy?
Yeah, so definitely, I always tell people that just because you don't see something in the market, it's not because it doesn't exist, it's somebody else is working on it or it doesn't work. So it did take us a really long time to even get the technology to where it is now, kind of learning from experiences of what's currently used, and it has been very successful, and trying to replace it with the earth abundant materials that are easier to manufacture. So we work very, very closely with industry to kind of get that direct feedback on what is of value, instead of trying to do everything at once, which is virtually impossible, or we will spend 10 years making and we'll never get there.
Thanks for answering my question. Thank you very much, and good luck.
Thank you.
So are you at the prototype stage, or do you have a
Correct.
working product? Okay.
So we do have a working prototype as far as materials are produced, and we had tested on a small scale with manufacturers. But now our next step, and kind of make it or break it deal whether we're ready to go on the market, is to produce an actual device that you can hold in your hands and see how it performs. That's our next milestone.
Have you participated in any like any corporate accelerators or partnered with any big manufacturers already?
Not as of now. We are partnered with a national lab, Argonne National Lab, to kind of help us
accelerate and de-risk our technology. And we are only currently working with a smaller manufacturing because their feedback loop is much faster instead of somebody like LG Display who takes 9 months to respond to anything. And in startup world, it's like a decade.
Yeah.
I mean, the reason I'm asking is I have a friend from Seattle. She's from like materials, chemicals, and I mean, her path was just doing, high level introductions, connections, and kind of working through the big companies like C-level people, and that she did okay within like 6 years or so. They got bought out at some point. It was, I mean, I don't remember like the exact of technology, but it was a patented technology out of University of Washington in Seattle. So I'm just curious why you're not pursuing that strategy more
We've been
rigorously.
around for a year, so you don't just. It's not easy to knock that door open and just get it.
I hear you. I worked for Boeing for
I
like
would love
12
to,
years. So.
but I'm also suspicious at the same time, because what I don't want to happen is them to license our technology and do absolutely nothing with it. That's my other worry, to not kind of go too early into it, and I just don't have enough say in the deal to say, well, we would like to see it work actually, instead of them just purchasing it and sit on it.
Yes, so this is Gary. Can you hear me? Yeah,
Yes.
So I would, I work with GE Innovation, and we have a partnership. We work with Philips, right? So one of the things, from my perspective, I like what you have, and this is the challenge. I spoke at the UN a few weeks ago on technology as a tool for peace, and some of the upcoming challenges we're going to have, and what you're saying about some of these rare earth materials is one of them. Our lives are going to fundamentally change if we don't do it. So if it was me, we can talk offline. We can have a conversation, but it's an area that, that we're very interested in, because we're looking for, one, an impact, but two, a way to be able to dramatically, move forward with the technology throughout this century and beyond. And these kind of problems need to be addressed now, or nothing good's going to happen. So
it takes a while to embed any technology, sadly. So good.
Yeah. So anyhow, we're dealing with a lot of those family offices too that are also interested. Just FYI, there are offices like the Schweitzer family in Germany. So Marin, who's they're one of the larger German companies. So yeah, we'll have a conversation offline. It's interesting.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Likewise, from my side, I can connect you with some people within the industry in the region of ex-Yugoslav countries, and I think it's not like in the US market, but it could be attractive for some expansion or testing the water.
I mean, US market practically doesn't exist right now. We have strongest presence in Europe, Germany, Netherlands, but yeah, would be happy to expand along that vertical.
So we're going to stay in touch after this event. So. We're going to, I have left my LinkedIn, so feel free to connect.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Margaret. Katya, I think
I have mentioned that it is our last presentation, but it is not like that, because we have one more startup, which is Dishwalla, and they are a little bit late, but we are welcoming them. And please share your screens.
Dennis? Yeah, you have to unmute yourself.
How's that?
We can see
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. My name's Dennis Marsh, and appreciate the opportunity. I know I'm really not very well prepared tonight, because it's kind of snuck up on me, and I really, I just didn't think about it. I got a lot of things going, and I just had a medical emergency last week. So anyway, it's one of those things. But I like the divorce guy, because that's kind of the way this whole thing started, was through a divorce. But I had 2 young children that I basically was raising by myself, part-time with my wife, of course. And I was really frustrated with washing dishes. So it took so long. It felt so ridiculous to have to wash your dishes before you put them in the dishwasher. So I felt like there was an easier way to do it. So I worked many, many years, actually, about 15, 17 years or whatever, trying to develop something. And and I came up with it. So this is called the Dishwalla, and it's basically a way to quickly wash your dishes. So basically it mixes water and soap in one side. You have water that's basically dispensed into the tray that you see. Can you guys see that, hopefully? Do you have a graphic up there at all? Okay. So one side actually has water in it, the others, and it dispenses into the tray there automatically, kind of like a dog water. So it fills up to a level it gets the bristle brushes all wet. And then the soap is dispensed on the opposite side, where you actually have a pump top that actually pumps the soap into it, however much soap that you want. So it's very simple, but it's a quick way. You just basically just pick up your brush and actually start washing dishes immediately. And I wash my breakfast dishes in a matter of 30 seconds or so. So, and there's well, I'm not going to go into that, but not enough time. I do have a provisional patent on it. I did take it to Walmart, and Walmart actually accepted it and then quickly turned it down because I wasn't shelf ready. I learned a lot about shelf ready real quick. The target market is basically small households. It's really not for a big family, but at the same time, it can be used to do quick brush ups at the sink or whatever to quickly wash any utensil or dish or whatever very, very quickly. The main thing and the main target that I'm really going after is from an environmental standpoint, the amount of water that you save using this compared to a dishwasher. And there's a lot of commercials out there right now that say you can use 4 gallons of water per wash or whatever. And I'm single and I can wash my dishes. I wash every night and I do it every night. Excuse me. But anyway, it's kind of a funny play on it. It's like, why would you want to wash your dishes all night when you have 2 dishes in the dishwasher? But anyway, that's just my personal feeling about it. The nice thing about it is that you can actually print it. You can use different materials to be able to manufacture it, from going from a very simplistic type of a plastic injection molded type of a standpoint, all the way up to a metal high-end type of a situation where you can make it out of high-end materials. I do have a working prototype on it, and it's not an inexpensive type of a product to make, but I feel like it has a very good market with almost every freaking household in the world. So anyway, I'm going to stop there because I know that there's a ton of questions.
Yeah.
Or none.
Thank you, Dennis. It's actually quite a user journey and user experience. I always hate to run the dishwasher for a couple of dishes that I have. So it definitely touched my my user case.
Well, I appreciate that, because that's really the reason that I came up with it to begin with. I was wasting so much time with the dishwasher. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, thanks. We have a question from Jude.
Thanks, Sergey. So Dennis, honestly, I'm not feeling it. How does this differ from the little stick with the soap in it that goes through to the sponge that I use manually to wash the dishes? What is the difference?
It's the difference is that you don't really have to push the button to be able to get soap onto it. You have to start your water anyway. So this actually mixes the water in the soap. It's already mixed up in the dish, ready for you to put just basically just pick up and start soaping your dishes with.
What am I picking up though? What is the device actually touching the dish?
Well, that bristle brush that you see right there in front with the chrome on the top of it, that's a bristle brush laying inside of a dish.
Okay.
Okay. And then actually there's another little caveat to it, that the handle there extends out to like a 3-inch level beyond what you see there. So it's easy to get down to the bottom of glasses. It's based on a locking type of a system where you can just turn it, extend it, lock it into place, and then get down to the bottom of dishes and that sort of thing. So it's really not, we're not recreating the wheel here. It's just a very simple way to be able to get to your cleaning device very quickly. And it's not for everyone, but it's really ideal in my situation for my significant other and I, and that's it in our house. And we haven't used a dishwasher in 15 years, literally. I mean, except for like large family occasions and holiday dinners and that sort of thing. So crickets.
Any more questions? All right. Then, Katya, what's next on our agenda?
Yeah, next our jurors need to rate today's startups. If you haven't done so, please do that. I remind about it one more time, from 1 to 5. And we will see who won over today's competition and who will go to the next round.
I have just one small question in regards to the last presentation. I don't think it's shown on the voting link. I think we have only 8.
It is.
Which one?
It's Dishwalla.
Aha, yeah.
I don't see it either.
Thanks. I didn't refresh my page. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Thanks.
Please refresh the page. So before we announce the results, let's see who's gonna win. Katya, what was your favorite? Where does your heart go?
It is a hard question because I'm just 22, but the diverse thing sounded really good because I didn't want to pay $700 per hour of work of attorney, but also I guess that the first startup was kind of it caught me because I have recently read in Wall Street Journal about supply chain problems and so on and so forth, and I guess it's kind of helped to resolve these very problems in a sense. So I really do not know what to predict because they were all so good. What are your impressions?
I've seen the intrigue, the startups were changing the places as they were going through the pitches. Maybe juries can share their favors before the final results announced.
I'm happy to say something. So you have I'm really excited, by the way. I'm glad that we have a group from North Carolina. I like Marjik. Very interesting for me. The for Trader X, I have 5 Nigerian companies today, and I see companies like his coming through. And it's quite interesting for me because it's a huge problem that needs to be addressed and how to do it in an efficient and effective manner. And I know Flutterwave and Patricia because we've done business with them. So I think that they're interesting. The home sirens, I'm curious about because it's such a massive problem that we all have. So I'd like to learn more. And of course, with Roland and is also interesting to me. This is a good start, but Marjik is, from my perspective, that one is incredible.
Thank you, Gary, for your insights and comments. Gajo? Are you muted?
Hi, I'm going to start from the beginning. I just started speaking and I didn't realize that I was muted. Well, I would concur with Gary in terms that I was really amazed by Marjik's presentation about the market traction. It has it all, but others were pretty good in their presentation. Sports trades was interesting. Nevertheless, I'm not much into the industry to understand the traction and everything that goes with it. In terms of others, for trader is pretty interesting because I'm also in fintech in a different type, but it could be really beneficial, and I think that it's really interesting because it's a connection with underdeveloped world with the developed, and all the best practices could be applied in terms to develop such platform. As far for Roland and 3DI LLC, they're good in their presentation. Nevertheless, they are pretty far from Marjik's in terms of market traction. But I think that there is enough time for them to work on for the next event, and probably will get better response in terms of the assessment. So that would be pretty much of my rough assessments. Sorry if I wasn't much of a praiser, but I think it's for your own good to be better, work flawlessly toward making your product and your dreams happen, and of course getting the sufficient amount of money to achieve this.
Yeah, thank you, Kajo. Jules, some of your closing thoughts and praises or maybe critique. All right, yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, it's actually Jules, so you threw me off with the Jules.
Sorry, I'm trying the French pronunciation.
Yes, and my parents had a sense of humor. That's all. I'm not French. So my favorite was probably Sports Trace, mostly because I've lived that life and I understand the market. And actually, I didn't see it on the slide, but then he said verbally that it was $5 a month, and I know dozens, if not hundreds, of parents that would pay that to improve their kids' chances of moving on in their various sports. So that was my favorite. I also like the For Trader. I think there's a huge market there for that if they have figured out the right way to go. And then finally, Margik was my other favorite.
Thank you. Mark?
Well, I'm going to diverge from my other judges by saying that I really think Roll-On has a very interesting and disruptive impact potential. She's been at it for a while, and I think the idea is a very big idea if it can be executed in an Uber or Airbnb type fashion. I also thought For Trader X was great. Margik, I really love the idea, but I think after a year, it's going to take a long time of development. There's going to need to be a big partner that comes in at some point. But I think she's doing the right thing by waiting for that partner until things have developed more. So I think it just needs more time, and it'll be probably a breakthrough company at that point. And Sports Trace is great. I just think the market is smaller compared to Roll-On.
Thank you, Mark. Marisa?
Let's see, my favorite was Margik, second, Sports Trace, and then third, Home Sirens, for all the reasons that have already been mentioned.
Yeah, thank you, Marisa. So Pavel, last but not least.
Well, as always, in the early stages, it's tough. It's tough to pick the favorite, I think, because it's hard to see the unit economics, and in some of them, I think, I lack the knowledge of like the details of the market. But for me, definitely, I mean, most of the projects resonate. The question is on the execution and some luck. I definitely like this Sports Trace. I think that's, again, I've actually recently been looking at the youth coaching market in US. So I think there's a big potential there. With Margik, again, great, super technology. Being in Cambridge, I've seen a lot of, long-term projects. So maybe, maybe she should look into some University of Cambridge investors there. They really like these types of projects. And then TradeX as well for TradeX. I mean, South America, I think would be great for that as well. I don't know if there are any competitors out there. So it's a good bunch. Really enjoyed. I would like to keep in touch with the guys as well.
Super. So the time to announce the winner. The winner of today's competition. Kasia, do you want to say it? It's time to open the envelope. I'm gonna give you the honor to announce it.
So what should I do one more time?
Look at the chat window.
Mhm. Uh-huh. 1, 2, 3. Our winner today is Margie.
Hooray!
It was expected.
Not on my end. Sergey knows how late I replied with the application. I didn't see it was a thing in North Carolina, so I guess it was meant to be for me to be here. Thank you so much, everybody, for your attention and your input. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Awesome.
So in terms of the next steps, Margaret, you will go to the next level of competition and we'll provide you the details. Thank you for wonderful judges and wonderful pitch participants. I hope that we'll continue this networking beyond this event on the platform, through the LinkedIn, through emails. It's now part of our own journey with this battle and with the Unicorn events. With that, thank you also to our wonderful host Ekaterina, and trust we'll see you in the next event for North Carolina, for America, and for the final cup of Unicorn battles. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Bye-bye. Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye. All the best and looking forward to the next event.
Bye.
Be safe. Happy holidays.
Yeah, stay safe. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye, Bye, Sergey. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Katerina.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
So long.